Honestly, I wasn't expecting to make a part 2 of Stan's Dark Secret, but the support was pretty amazing and there's more stuff to show you guys. In this video, I will be talking about more evidence as well as answering some of the questions you asked about the theory. Please be sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel if you aren't already, as that would really help me out. With all that being said, let's get on to part 2 of the video. So to recap, Grunkle Stan is Bill, except the Stan we know is more of a new identity because his life is shaped by the people around him. Even though the axolotl changed Bill's dream demon form into a human one, Bill changes and ultimately becomes Grunkle Stan throughout this new life. It's kinda hard to explain, but Stan is like Bill's new identity. Hopefully you know what I mean, since it may be a bit hard to understand. My personal thought is that Bill's new form as Grunkle Stan led to some memory loss, but his mannerisms were still in his subconscious mind. So when you see Grunkle Stan saying something like, "Eeny meeny miny you," just like Bill's cipher, that's a fragment of his previous life as the Dream Demon. This part is just speculation, but I think it would make more sense given the circumstances as well as the upcoming details you're about to hear. There's some more interesting evidence that I didn't point out in the previous video. To start off, we need to go to the season 1 episode Dreamscaperers. If you remember, there is a scene where Stan tells Dipper all about how you can do whatever you want in the mind. At first we thought that Stan had just encountered Bill in the past, which is the reason he gave this advice. But earlier in the episode, someone mentions Bill's name to Stan, and Stan has no idea what they are talking about. That adds up with my theory that when Bill got the new form of the greatest con man, he lost his memories but kept his subconscious mannerisms and some thoughts from his previous incarnation. One important thing to mention in this episode is the hand motion that Grunkle Stan uses to heal Dipper's hole in the chest. Take a look at this picture and see if it's familiar to you in any way. It should be, because it's the exact same pose that Bill uses to get the hole in Dipper's chest earlier in the episode. This is definitely not a piece of evidence to ignore, as anybody else could have gave Dipper the advice and healed his chest hole. Is this a coincidence? It's possible, but then again, a theory is created when so many coincidences add up. In Boys Crazy, Grunkle Stan is stocking meat for the apocalypse, and he knew about it way before it happened. Think about this in the context of the show. It doesn't make any sense at all. Stan talking about the apocalypse and gold seems like a joke, but then Weirdmageddon happened. And if you believe in this theory, then perhaps Stan had some sort of vision of the apocalypse due to it happening in his previous incarnation. There are a few episodes of Gravity Falls where the axolotl is in the fish tank at the Mystery Shack. This is likely just an Easter egg thrown in by the Gravity Falls crew, but it could mean something different. It appears in Tourist Trapped and The Inconveniencing, but then just disappears and doesn't show up again for the rest of the show. Now that we know that the axolotl has power far greater than we can imagine, is it possible that it was there for a reason? Like, the axolotl could have granted Bill his new form as Stan, and then in the first episode, the axolotl would watch how his new form is doing. Of course, I could be just going crazy here and overanalyzing everything, but then again, that's my job as a theorist. One interesting point is that Bill almost never interacted with Stan in the entire course of the show. Even in the episode where Bill invades Stan's mind, they don't physically interact. The only time where they come face to face is in Weirdmageddon 3, which is extremely odd. Almost every other main character has had some kind of interaction with Bill, so it's strange that Stan hasn't. I don't know what this means for the overall theory, but I do think it's worth mentioning, and you guys can let me know what you think about it. Here's a piece of evidence you likely overlooked. During the cipher hunt, fans went all around the world in an amazing scavenger hunt to find the Bill statue. The clues at each location had puzzles, voice recordings, flash drives, and so much more. On a flash drive that Alex made during the hunt, this recording of Grunkle Stan has him singing, and you're probably going to be pretty surprised what it is.
We'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day.
This is the exact same song that Bill sings in Weirdmageddon 3. This is yet another connection between the two characters that proves they are closer than we think. Canonically, it makes no sense that Stan would know about Bill singing the song, since that scene took place in the pyramid with only Ford to listen. The next piece of evidence is insane, and I mean it. If this were true, then I'd be extremely surprised. It's a conspiracy theory and something really interesting, but if you don't believe it, then I understand. I made a video a while back about Bill being a bird, and it was a nice theory with a lot of evidence. If we assume that the new form he took was a bird, then keep listening. a bird is a symbol for the passing on of spirits. In A Tale of Two Stans, the big flashback episode featuring the young Stan twins, literally the first thing we see in the episode is a bird walking on the beach. Perhaps this is symbolism for the changing of spirits in the previous Dream Demon to young Stanley Pines. I know, it's crazy, and I'm crazy too, but I just thought I'd throw every little piece of possible evidence or speculation in this video, just in case any of it turns out to be true. Speaking of A Tale of Two Stans, there was a quote at the end of the episode that might be a clue. It says, "A stubborn, tough New Jersey native, Philbrick wasn't too creative, having twins was not in his plan, so he just shrugged and named both Stan." Philbrick is the dad of the Stan twins if you didn't know that already. The line to pay attention to here is that having twins was not his plan. What if Philbrick just expected one kid and that kid was Ford? It would make sense because Bill's Dream Demon form into this new human form probably wasn't expected. Well, that was a lot of evidence, but there's still some questions I have to answer and speculate about involving the accuracy of this theory. Some people have been asking me, why exactly would Bill redeem himself? If he goes through all this trouble trying to destroy the world, why would he become a new form and save the world instead of destroying it? My guess is that the axolotl promised him a new form only if he agreed to do good things. And let's not forget that Bill says he's happy but is actually sad according to the axolotl. While those lines are a parallel to Grunkle Stan, it looks like Bill's the same way. Bill didn't get much screen time in the series, so we barely know his backstory, but the axolotl knows the truth, that Bill really isn't happy. So with this new form, Bill would save the world and be happy again. At least that's my personal take on this. Another commonly asked question was, how long does this cycle go on? Grunkle Stan defeats Bill. Bill calls the axolotl's name. Bill changes form and is reincarnated as Grunkle Stan. Then everything repeats. To explain this briefly, it is called the bootstrap paradox. An article on astronomytrek.com states that this paradox is a theoretical paradox of time travel that occurs when an object or piece of information sent back in time becomes trapped within an infinite cause-effect loop in which the item no longer has a discernible point of origin and is said to be uncaused or self-created. If you got confused there, let me explain it in Gravity Falls terms. There is no definitive start or end to the cycle that Bill goes through. Bill gets defeated by Stan, reincarnates, defeats next Bill, then a loop takes place. It never ends, and if you think too much about it, your brain will probably explode. Those were the two big concerns with the theory, and there are a bunch of smaller ones, but I don't want this video to be really long. Be sure to comment below your thoughts on this so I can see what you guys think. Subscribe for more awesome cartoon videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.